Hi everybody, it's me Joe again, and I'm back with another reaction. Now, I know what you're all thinking immediately. Joe, what the hell are you doing right now? You're not in your chair, you're not in your coat, you've got no setup behind you. What the hell's going on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am here for one simple reason. Hunter the Parenting is back, and by so many requests, everyone wants me to do the audio logs. Now, those ones are super long. So I was thinking, what's an easy way to do these? Yes, you did, but now this is just a standard reaction, but in a new form. So basically, I remembered my laser pig reactions are pretty much super long, and I do it via this. So I decided to basically react like this to some of the extra long videos, or even some of the extremely shorter videos, because editing is a pain in the ass sometimes, and this kind of solves the whole editing problem. So we're going to react to Hunter the Parenting audio logs. Yes, we're going to do something a little different. So, but before we watch this video, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and of course follow me on all my social media down below in the description. And if you want to support this channel, feel free to support me on Patreon. Now, let's see what happens. Now, I've been told that the audio logs and some of the other things happen in between certain episodes and such like that. Currently, I'm on episode 2. I've done 2 episodes of Hunter the Parenting, and I want to at least do a couple of these before I do episode 3. So, this is what's going to happen for now. Plus, you might see some of the shorter episodes of the Pyromancers in this kind of format, too. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for that. So, for now, we're just going to have to do with my hat, since I can't do my full setup. Anyway, let's see what, this is going to be Kitten and Big D's primer on the supernatural and local folklore. We shall see what this entails. Of course, I'm drinking water because hydration is the key. Remember to stay hydrated, kids. Educational. Indeed. Anyway, now that this is over, hopefully the audio works. Just let me know if it's a little low or a little high, and I'll adjust accordingly. So yeah, let's get this video started, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, and play. Hunter the Parenting. Kitten and Big D's premiere on Big D's homestyle omelette? Oh boy. We're already starting off with cock. The cock song.
Oh, what a beautiful morning to... Who the fuck is in my kitchen?
You just carry a sword with you?
Good morning, City. Good morning, sword.
You just...
Oh, this old thing. Sorry. I thought you were the landlord.
I own this house. We don't have a landlord.
Oh, so that makes you the landlord, parasite. Well, in either case, good morning, mighty almost child. I have a request.
Put the sword away and I can see what I can do.
Capital. Consider it done. Ah, son-in-law, my body yearns for my special omelet. Can you make
Wait a minute, are you wearing a nightgown?
Do you have
No
a
shame
recipe?
if you do,
I'll
but...
command the instructions
Bro,
into the brain with
that
my
thing is
powerful
see-through.
voice.
Yeah, alright, just need to mix boy's egg milk. Oh, shit! Do we have any jam left?
We are out. I'll have to go get more when I next go grocery snatching.
Oh, God, Marcus won't eat his porridge without jam.
Oh, what a child! He wants his porridge, but only with jam. He'll eat the beans, but not the sprouts. He wants his leek soup, but with absolutely no Marmite!
Such a baby.
He is literally a baby! My baby! Precious little small child! Oh my god, he is so small and adorable!
Smallest possible child.
Small, perfect child!
You know, I will say this. I said this in the last video, but I mean, at least D loves his boys. Like D here is truly a good, not the best father, but a decent one at that. He loves his kids.
He would never eat marine mush before a return to these accursed reaches. Does he even know what happens in the ocean? I don't! It's terrifying! Put the muscles on his porridge.
I'm sorry, what did you want for your omelette?
Alright, so take the D eggs and whisk them in a bowl.
D eggs?
Duck eggs.
Does the D in Big D stand for duck?
I will remind you that I own illegal firearms.
Right, sorry.
I won't forget the milk.
Of course, Wait, there's no milk, I think.
No, it's in the bag.
What?
What?
Oh. Isn't this unpasteurized?
Louis Pasteur was a fascist in line with the New World Order.
Incomprehensible.
I am turning the newspaper page.
You know, after living on the road for 10 years, I could imagine settling down in Norfolk must have felt quite cramped.
Cramped? No. The earth beneath us thrusts to the planet's heart, dear boy. Its air and heaven stretch past our reckoning, windows to a fathomless beyond.
Oh. Not the answer I expected.
Beautiful child. Even in the smallest of places, entire worlds may exist. If not in one's surroundings, then behind another's eye. It is only cramped if you lack vision.
Wow.
That's
Thinking.
yeah, that's very
Only as
deep.
deep as the ooze water at Yarmouth's Pirates Cove Adventure Golf Course. These are the thoughts skimmed from the froth of my incredible mind, son. If there were any justice in this world, they would be foundational philosophies by now. Nevertheless, I will begin construction of the omelette sauce.
Well, wait, can't I do that?
I just do not trust you with this. Focus on the omelette.
There are just some things that you like to handle
The
yourself.
ones in the second drawer to the right.
Yeah, I was wondering what we were going to do with those. Also, God, the water in Pirates Cove. It always looked so artificial.
Artificial water.
Like someone had an idea of what water looked like and tried to make it from scratch, but stopped at the color.
How do you mess this up?
Halfway there.
It's water!
Ever looked into it?
The water?
Yes.
Well, as you said, it's all grotty and blue.
No, boy. The story behind the water.
Huh?
Not particularly.
Oh, space and
And
water.
I don't think they'd tell anyone if they, did have a story.
Loose lips sink ships on Pirates Cove, eh? It could be the work of various different creatures.
Creatures?
What?
When you say that, do you actually just mean the club head or the groundskeeper?
The club head.
Well-
The groundkeeper. What
well-
silent, macabre horrors you have in this nation.
Okay, so...
We shall hunt them down!
The Norfolk County Golf Union might find that divisive.
A golf
Oh,
union.
child, there is not a golfer alive I cannot kill. Oh, pour some sulfur in there just to get that tang going.
Sulfur?
How's your omelette sauce coming?
Oh, it's a simple thing. 1 tablespoon tomato paste, 1 tablespoon honey, water, sauerkraut, ketchup, tonkatsu, a bit of RBMK reactor core graphite to taste.
Bit of what?
Wait, what?
Ketchup.
That's a bit off, innit?
Ketchup's a bit off. What about the fucking reactor
What
core?
about the fiddler and the monk?
Did you?
I did. Thoroughly charming. Tell me, though, are there any similar stories surrounding Great Yarmouth?
Oh, more ghost stories.
Anywhere around Old East Anglia, as the natives call it.
Oh, of course! It's a whole bloody legendarium. Anything in particular that strikes your fancy?
My mind can devour all in this world. Spectres, witches, werewolves, giraffes. I want it all.
We've got
Giraffes.
giraffes at Africa Alive Safari.
What?
Let me have a think.
I shall drink caffeine.
I shall drink
I've
caffeine.
got a good one to start off. For the ghost side of things, one of my favorites is the bizarre tale of the Haysborough torso.
Oh, that sounds absolutely inane! Continue.
Okay, so over on the east coast, almost at the border between Great Yarmouth and North Norfolk, there's this little village called Haysborough, right?
How's that spelled?
Haysburgh.
Your people's rejection of your own language is inspiring.
Fun being as it's true.
I will kill the queen. But yes, I am aware of that wretched
R.I.P.
hamlet.
Queen Elizabeth.
We lived in the caravan park for a month before this fucking ham of a man banned us from the public bathrooms. Can you believe it?
Why did you do that?
I do not wish to get into it. I divorced him the week prior, and it was fucked.
Wait, what?
Time for the race.
This omelette has rice?
Fear not, 'tis my burden. You can go ahead and shred in some cheese and chlorine, please. Both are delicious.
Chlorine?
Well, okay. So, the torso. A little south of Haysborough, about half a mile from that caravan park, there's an intersection between three roads. In the midst lies a small, grassy triangle, quaint in its size, with not much to offer.
I immediately assume that it is a spectre, vampire, or gobloid creature turned into a walking
Dean,
abomination
please,
that is in fact trying to kill.
We're just crossing the roads right now.
Road is what my bus drives on.
Yes. Well, at this small triangular junction, there once was a well. And, well,
Well?
the well isn't doing so well. Because it's not there anymore.
Damn it! If only I had been there in time!
There is a reason for this. Well Corner, 'twas called, back in the 1800s. For years, local men, farmers and such, made terribly frightening reports of a strange figure wandering up the main street of the small town. At first, based on his bulbous silhouette, they believed he was injured or hunchbacked, an old man lolloping through the night. But upon a close inspection made by those few brave enough to get close, it was made readily apparent that this hunchback was the figure's nearly severed head, bobbling behind him, hanging from threads that were the remains of his neck.
Talk about a pain in the...
Yeah. This same figure also appeared to lack legs.
Okay, my motion is broken. How could he walk around with no legs?
He's a ghost. They kind of just float.
Ghost reasons, I assume? Anyway, he wore a sailor suit.
Sea legs, carry on.
He wore a sailor suit and held what looked like a saggy old sack clutched to his chest, desperately making way towards a particular destination. Well Corner. This figure could be seen for days, then weeks. After report upon report, sighting after sighting. Eventually the villagers decided that enough was enough. Something had to be done. They settled on a plan. The shambling thing had of course been seen on its trail, leading all the way up to the well, where then the thing would throw the sack down into its depths, only to soon follow suit, crawling down into the murky old well. The locals knew that there was only one way to properly investigate. So, they sent a poor Dutchman, who just so happened to be smaller than their average, down by a rope into the black well to investigate.
And?
Down went the brave Dutchman late one evening, tense with fear, the murky waters still beneath him. The horror thick in the air, with the notion that the silence could break at any moment with the sound of something waterlogged that is not meant to speak. This, until at last, the Dutchman hung above the waters, and with a hook pushed down into the darkness, came upon something. Quickly, upon his call, they fished up first the Dutchman, then a large brown mass from the bottom. It was a bag, one within which they found the mangled remains of 2 legs.
Ooh, I should hope they drained that bloody well.
Oh, of course they did.
So wait, the ghost was carrying his legs in a bag?
Strangely, the sighting ceased after that.
Really? Just from that?
Yeah. But the very pump was actually removed some years after that.
And?
and the villagers once again reported awful groaning deep into the night. By all accounts, the ghost had returned until at last the pump was reinstalled.
That doesn't make much sense.
Ghosts in general don't make much sense.
True enough.
Nonsense! They make perfect sense.
Really?
It's just a sense we don't yet grasp.
You think so?
My boy, all things are ordered and explicable. Even chaos hearkens to the beat of unseen principles. There is no true randomness, merely spontaneous whimsy. Flowers wilt, waters flow, aortic valves implode, vampires suck, but never for no reason.
That's a surprising outlook, sir.
Indeed.
I always thought you looked at the supernatural world with more, well, wonder, I guess?
Boy, I ought to smack you, but I love you, so instead I flip.
Oh god, you cracked my glass.
Order and wonder go hand in hand. Whether decoding chaos or indulging in its whimsy, the world around us is a ceaseless den of darkness and delight. Just as there is joy in understanding a facet of it, there is equal joy in knowing there is more to discover. The quest goes ever on, Sancho, and whether windmill
So you
or
find
giant,
joy in actually the
twilight
discovery of
strikes
something and like the
forward.
research part of it rather than the fact that it exists at all. That's interesting.
Now then, this torso. He seems like an odd chap. Let's evaluate his authenticity.
Oh?
Most spirits tend to be tied to objects, ones that linger from their past lives. I believe the common vernacular is fetters.
Well, perhaps the well itself was a fetter.
Perhaps. You see, to destroy a fetter often destabilizes a ghost, turns them hostile. Like Marcus and his silly game station.
He was really torn up after you crushed it with a hammer.
It defied my will and was summarily punished.
What?
Next time, Marcus should share a fairer interest with me.
Look, Mario Party is unfair for everyone.
It
Oh,
should be
God,
at
yeah.
least unfair for me.
It can be if you play Peach.
Everyone cheated but Big D. Next time, Big D cheat.
Casual.
Yeah, something more casual, like diplomacy or a game of Ur. In either case, it's why so many ghosts act cagey when you traipse into their homes. You're essentially defiling their remaining memories of mortal life.
That's
It's typically
interesting.
unwise to disturb them, and even worse when those places are destroyed.
I see. And since the well is gone now,
Yes, you'd expect sightings to soar. However, it is also thought geists can find some form of peace through these fetters. Perhaps our sailor friend was a native of the village. He may have yearned for clean water in his dying moments at sea, or as a youth in Happisburg, or some such. Happisburg, Hatesburg, whatever your evil devil village is called. It's pure conjecture, but mayhaps in bringing it to his village, he made peace with his death, before he went to hell.
which explains why he only came back after the pump was removed.
Right on the money! Though, of course, it's just as likely that this ghost was a Happisburg hoax to get the government to replace an old pump.
Or perhaps a story shared by bandits and criminals to keep roads clear at night. In the book I read, they suggested the chap was a smuggler of some such, likely murdered in a quarrel with his own coal.
Not his own coal will get him. You know, it's always the quarrel you don't see that gets you. That was a funny joke. I taught it to Marcus.
Right, sorry.
Back on stuff. Back.
Murdered in a quarrel with his own comrade.
Ah, who can say? Truths like these are hidden for a reason. For mankind to bring them hissing, screaming into the light, for all to behold.
Right inspiring, sir. Speaking of, could I ask how you know any of this?
I once entered an abandoned hotel in L.A. A ghost threw a phone at me. I have studied their ways ever since.
I also have had a couple of
Why
ghost
not, Daniel?
experiences.
Do not mock me, Philistines! I'll kill you, Necromancer! I'll kill all of you! Ah!
I'm glad I never went as far as this guy did.
Do you want to hear more Norfolk urban legends?
Of course!
Cool.
That was quick.
Well, let's see. There's loads to cover.
God, could you imagine if I started doing like ghost
Priest
hunting
Hall,
shit here on this channel?
Somerton.
Ooh, a spookoy witch!
Sure, we'll go with that one. Long ago, in the 15th century, a mysterious peg-legged woman was accused by the local clergy of witchcraft. While this was naturally a barbarous practice...
That shit was crazy!
While we know those accused of witchcraft were innocent, the Witch of East Somerton, for reasons we'll get into, was perhaps not.
Oh?
While proof of her deeds have been lost to the ages, stories abound of her sorcerous ways. And for this, she was seized and buried alive beneath St. Mary's Church in the little village of East Somerton. However, unfortunately for the church, this would prove to be their last mistake, for a witch's ire is rarely spurned. When the ground was cleared for her burial, she only laughed as the dirt covered her shackled body. Laughed and laughed as she was entombed within the soil. She could be heard no more. The priests and congregated hunters celebrated their victory, until her peg leg was seen, jutting out of the ground. First a mere shaft of wood, then a sprouting log, and then a great and mighty oak tree, which shattered the church and turned it to ruins.
Whoa.
The husk of her victory can still be seen today.
Really?
And it's still thought,
Is this true too?
should you be foolish enough, that you might wake her yet with the utterance of her true name.
Got him!
Huh?
She got him!
I suppose
She did get him.
Ah, classic!
You gonna expand on that?
Nope, also I think the story is fake.
What?
Well, sir, I've taken you for many things, but never a skeptic.
Come on, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would the Christians bury this woman in the middle of their church? What, do they just dig up the floors in the middle of Mass, slap her in?
The story might not be entirely literal.
Yeah.
They could have just buried her in the lower levels. I mean, the oak is there, that's a fact at least.
I still disagree.
Why?
Mainly because it contradicts me.
At least you're honest.
Though I will say, your fake story does have all the markings of a witch's dastardly death hex.
Assuming it isn't fake, of course.
Of course.
I admit I don't know much about death hexes or witches and the like.
I explain. Wizards and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
They can die if you shoot them.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is always a bad idea. Please watch out. Alert, alert, alert,
Point
alert.
taken, point taken!
Take it. Yeah, take it.
For this is the death curse. It's this thing
They
where...
curse you in death?
Correct. Usually to death. It doesn't happen every time you smite a witch or wizard. But often enough,
Is that
it's
why?
very
Is
dangerous
that
to
why
attempt.
Kevin's being kept alive?
So you mean to say if there's an evil wizard running around, we can't do anything about it?
Of course you can. Wizards are nerds. You can easily punch. But to be safe, make sure you aren't seen. Or heard. Or known to them at all before killing them instantly, or else your brain will be turned into a cornered cob, and this is a fact.
Oh, well, as scary as killing one is, at least they're not so hard otherwise.
Oh, actually, they can warp reality with their wheels and brains.
What?
Yeah, near infinite power to alter creation.
Wow.
Oh! Man, and I thought Kevin was bad.
Great and mighty Kevin was formidable. But indeed, were he a true magi, I doubt could have survived your encounter.
Our encounter? What about you?
Oh, I'd have been fine.
Of
I
course.
admire your optimism, but I remember you barely, surviving Kevin.
Yeah, I think your brain might be wrong.
How would it be any different if Kevin were more powerful?
Really, son-in-law? Do you honestly think your old man would dive headlong into the cave without a few tricks up his sleeve?
Do you want the honest answer?
No! Add more garlic.
Do you want the honest answer? No!
More.
Sure thing.
So more!
Sure thing, Sir D.
Now tell me something else.
What?
Tell me about something else.
Well, there's
New
always
story.
our most classic tale, the mysterious red-eyed dog of East Anglia, Black Shuck.
Black Shuck? A ghost puppy? I give snuggles.
Black Shuck is a mysterious creature. Tales of its appearances date back to at least the 1500s, but probably stretch even further. Stories of a pitch-black hound with dreadful red eyes whose glow portends calamity and misery.
Don't care, still give Snuggles.
Similar to a banshee, then, eh?
I suppose so, but banshees are more direct. The howl of a banshee is meant to reflect an imminent demise and is thought to be a spirit of
And
the
aren't
dead,
banshees
some kind
usually,
of
like,
fae or
more akin to
something.
Irish folklore?
Shuck is different. For instance, in 1577, Shuck was said to have appeared before a large congregation at the Holy Trinity Church. Shattering through the doors in a clap of thunder, Shuck's appearance befuddled and terrified the congregation.
I don't care, still give Snuggles.
Shuck strode to the nave, ripping a man and child to shreds where they stood. The
Still
crowd
Snuggles.
stood agape before the steeple of the church collapsed down upon
He's just looking for Cookie. That's all Puppy looked for. He looked for Cookie.
This is an exciting story.
Oh, well, it gets even better. That very same night, there was a reported sighting in St. Mary's Church. A different St. Mary's, one in Bungay. Black Shuck again interrupted a congregation, this time in a burst of flame. He launched through the crowd, inciting panic and delirium before brushing against two curious individuals in the midst of prayer.
Ooh, the anticipation is killing me.
Before those same two suddenly fell dead like marionettes with broken strings.
Yes, yes, yes! My boy, I am going to kick this dog!
No, you are not!
Oh, son-in-law, surely you see. This little hellhound is causing a commotion, a ruckus.
I just give Snuggles in
It's
tweets
so
and he go home.
barking, which means it's a victimless crime to experiment on him.
D, don't you dare.
No D, but, this all happened in the 1500s.
Time means nothing. There is not a statute of limitations on being a goblin.
He's a dog.
Yes, whatever that is.
Well, I suppose there are modern sightings, though they're far less dramatic.
Oh?
Yeah, usually people getting spooked and being like, "Oh no, mate, that's Black Shuck, innit?" And it is, and yeah, that's the story there. It's kind of lame.
I just give Snuggles a Cookie, dude.
Propaganda.
What?
That's what I do. Just see,
Sounds like-
oh, look, it's Max. Come here, puppy. Give you Snuggles. Give you
There's
Snuggles.
a network of these dogs.
Hell, I'd probably adopt it. Take it home with me.
Running a joint venture.
This is
to keep
Koa,
the
that is
common
Luna,
man
this
quiet
is Black
about
Shuck.
dog crime and dog
Duh.
poker.
Be nice with him or else he'll burst you and
And
he'll
the
kill
only
you.
dogs I know to do crime are the werewolves.
Oh boy, werewolves.
Wait, hang on. You know about werewolves?
My boy, if there is a supernatural pest on this planet, you can assume I have bested it at least once. Remind me to tell you about my mummy adventure sometime.
Mummy.
Second-hand, British.
Have you seen my mummy?
Okay, I know the English government has a history of plunder and thievery, but the British Museum can't steal your funny mummy moment.
Presume nothing. Also, burn your national insurance papers.
What? Why?
The power of true names run eternal, even in Meshtian code. So, evil dog.
This is a lot to pack in, and you've barely even given me werewolf facts.
Werewolves, that's right. Well, randomly attacking churchgoers certainly fits their MO, or at least in the period.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. For much of their history, werewolves have been insane neo-pagan theocrat berserkers.
You say much of their history. What about now?
These days, they're more like insane neo-pagan theocrat berserkers.
Ah, natch.
But some of them go on the computer. And in my experience, those ones are typically far better adjusted. Which is ironic, considering the computer is the devil.
Who'd have thunk it?
I'd have thunk it. But then that's cheating, because I already knew. But there are things that line up and don't line up about Black Shuck as a werewolf.
Oh, do tell.
For one, the more recent sightings tend to be rather uneventful, correct?
Mostly. A lot of people just seeing him, maybe something unlucky happens afterwards. Links to disappearances from time to time, but nothing so dramatic as murders in the middle of mass.
It could be that this werewolf, or possibly werewolves, has simply learned how to better cover their tracks. In the 1500s, outright attacks on religious, scientific, and mystic organizations were more common. It's common. These days, you need to keep a low profile to survive. But there's also the matter of modern sightings. Their banality aligns with a werewolf phenomenon known as the delirium.
Charming name.
And despite how boring these modern sightings are, in Act 1, this delirium is a side effect of the shape-shifting process. Essentially, when a werewolf enters their mighty war form, human beings tend to panic.
Well, I suppose I might panic too if a giant monster jumped out at me.
And
Yeah.
we work together to break this bad habit, son-in-law. But that's not what I meant. I mean, a supernatural panic. Supposedly, there's some resonance in the psyche of mankind with werewolves. This primordial hunter, blah, blah, blah. That's true, anyway. But nevertheless, when a mortal witnesses a werewolf's war form, they tend to go briefly mad.
Mad how exactly?
Well, they might run away, or freeze up, or attack with insane vigor. Often their reaction depends on the strength of one's will.
The ultimate form of fight or flight.
And usually with no recollection of events. Worse still, it's almost impossible for normal humans to avoid, even in part.
Yeah.
One must be either extremely strong-willed or supernatural themselves to avoid delirium completely.
Have you ever suffered the delirium, sir?
Oh no, I'm built different. But
He's
those
built
without these bulging brain muscles are in for a world of hurt. I train you and the others for precisely this reason. Discipline, determination. Oh my god, I'm losing my chance for a 3D alliteration. Oh god, help me. Destrucity. That's the word.
Last word's a bit of a stretch, mate.
Ah! These are the things I instill within you with my relentless chicanery.
Is that why you ruined Marcus's 12th birthday by dressing as the Goblin?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay,
Abso-fucking-lutely.
really traumatic to him. In RS, he exclusively levels his combat stats killing goblins.
Then the student has become the master. I'm so proud. Anyway, hey, don't fight a werewolf, by the way.
Yeah, I heard they're tough. But with how well we did in the tunnels against those vampires, I'm confident that...
No,
What?
What?
you aren't ready to fight a werewolf, son-in-law. Not yet. The fledglings we fought were fearsome, yes, but a werewolf... Listen well. Werewolves are killing machines. They are supernatural soldiers fighting a war we barely understand. Do not fight them.
Ooh.
I'll take your warning to heart, sir. But what if we're forced to?
Their weakness is silver, due to their combat with the moon. Silver bullets, silver knives, use them. Focus on evasion and trickery. When they're at their most dangerous, they're at their most feral. Blind them, distract them. Trust your wits, not your fists.
Right. I understand.
So the werewolf's more of a thinking, something we really have to use.
Because it's omelette time!
Shit, I forgot the omelette! It's burning!
Fear not! It's just the way I like it. Here we go, and now the sauce.
Is it supposed to smell more like egg than eggs do?
Yep.
Why are you putting it in the blender?
Oh, to blend it. Yes, Big D's home-style omelette, a.k.a. sulfuric acid.
What?
You're not eating that, right?
Silly boy. I would probably die or throw up. No, this is for our illustrious guest, the great and mighty Kevin.
Ah, I understand. Wait, there are way easier ways to make acid. I understand nothing.
It's the principle of the thing. Besides, Kevin is a vampire. They can't eat food. By mixing the acid with food, it makes it even more unpleasant.
Oh.
Is that gonna kill him?
I mean, well, I don't, I don't know, but
I don't know.
ideally remember this. This is just for torture purposes.
Oh, that's even worse.
Relax, it's actually very funny and moral. And besides, it's the threat of torture that's the most important. That old Tremere will crack like an egg before I have to use this stuff. Mark my words.
Dreaming?
Yes, that is the name of one of the vampire clans. Everyone hates them and wants them to die.
Do go on, Sir D. What's the civil structure like? Are they bloodlines, families, impersonal syndicates? Do they confer abilities? What are their secrets? Are there any Norfolk clans? What are the other ones? What's an antediluvian within this context? Why does Piotr hate them?
Son-in-law! I have
Agreed.
2 cruel truths to impart upon you.
Okay.
The first is, you will need to buy a new blender.
Bollocks.
The second, vampire lore is, tricky. More than any other supernatural creature, vampires despise being unveiled. They relentlessly hunt any breach of their vaunted secrecy with organized and military precision. As such, though I know much, I speak.
So very Black
and
Ops.
sadly share even less.
Of course, but surely you can trust your own family.
Trust has little to do with it. Say I share all that I know. Indeed, to truly destroy this foe, we must understand it. But if I do so carelessly, notice how the conversation started. I carelessly said the word Tremere.
Yes?
If we were in public, in a restaurant, or on the street when I had said that, we would very well have to move.
That's a tad extreme.
And it is necessary. The masquerade, they call it. To wear the mask of a human. To blend in with us. To convince us their existence is but a fairy tale. Any breach in this masquerade is a threat to their very existence.
No Minecraft.
For even though
Not
they
here.
are individually more powerful, they fear mankind more than anything else. They are few, and we are many. Should wider society discover their existence, man might well eradicate them. For while an
Makes sense.
especially mighty vampire could slay 100 mortals, there is a limit to their strength. Few break easily, but all break. And that is not to speak of their most hated enemy, the sun. Its ancient rays scorch even the eldest of their kind to chalkled bone. Vampires cannot be rid of their great adversaries, for the sun is beyond their reckoning and humanity vital to their survival.
Yes.
Thus, most work to preserve their masquerade, hiding in the dark, carefully balanced upon webs of injury and murder. To further this end, vampires have many agents. Ghouls, they call them. Mortals grown addicted to vampiric blood. These half-men gain a whisper of their master's power in exchange for fanatical servitude. Unlike
Jeez.
their masters, though, ghouls need not slumber by day. Their eyes are everywhere, and they watch vigilantly for the slightest breach of undead omerta. This is why we hunters are responsible for the vampire threat. We learn as much of the vampire as we can and spread it safely to ensure these parasites become the forgotten myths they pretend to be. Even this is a treacherous task, for we cannot know which parts of our collected vampiric lore are mistaken assumption, the earnest truth, or malignant propaganda.
I see.
So rest assured, I will teach you what I know, but slowly. They might not blood hunt you for knowing a word or two, but they certainly will if you know their meaning.
And what is a blood hunt?
They'll kill you for knowing what that is too. Which is dumb, because it's kind of just what it sounds like. Every vampire in the region hunting you for your blood.
Hard to figure out.
Breach not our veil of secrecy.
Still,
God, they must be
it'd
full
nice
of
to know what
themselves.
we're dealing with. For instance, Piotr flashed in and out of visibility on the security cameras, and I swear that 8-Boy gets uglier every time I see him.
8-Boy was the Marcus of the group, right?
Absolutely.
Ah.
Oh yeah, fuck him.
But yes, your questions are valid. Let me say this then. Piotr, that sludge lad?
Not the right term, is it?
Oh no, but that clan are vampire info brokers, so it's one of the scariest ones to actually know. Sludge lad is just fine for now. We're going with sludge lad.
Kind of fits.
Primarily, they are known for 4 things. First, their ability to turn invisible.
Well, that
Some
explains
people
that.
use vampiric magics to alter their appearance, appearing as something they're not. Second, their ability to control animals. Sludge lads are known to use legions of vermin as their eyes and ears.
Nosferatu. That's what Piotr is. He's a Nosferatu type.
All the worse when they're ghouls.
I had a friend. I had friends who were vampire nuts.
Magics.
That explains your intense pest control methods.
Listen, I raised Dor on a steady diet of home-hunted spy rats, and look at him! He came out American! Isn't it awful?
And so the third and fourth things?
American.
Thing 3 is that they're ugly.
Oh.
But ugly.
Yeah.
Don't pity them. Honestly, some of them make it work.
Oh, God. When he called me Loverboy, when I said he looked hideous, did Piotr think I was hitting on him?
I can't say for sure, but also, yes, definitely that was it.
Oh no.
Shit! Fear not!
Shit!
I will not inform my son about your tryst with the sewer child. Oh, the fourth thing. They're super strong and can juggle dumpsters.
Thanks.
Oh no! We have him in a tiny cage. Is that going to hold?
Well, if he hasn't broken out, did Dor make the cage?
Maybe?
If he did, no worries. If he didn't, why didn't he?
That's true.
That's true.
Well, the lad could be biding his time. Or he figures he can't break through the big vault that is our cellar, so he's waiting for his chance to escape. Or he could just not be very strong.
Oh. I see. Or, well, I mean, Marcus insists his kick was pretty alright.
Vampires are capable of some superhuman physical feats.
Makes
But
sense.
he probably couldn't throw a car or whatever, drained as he is.
Good thing we stabbed him bloody then. It seems like a pretty big weakness if their strength is beholden to their amount of blood.
Yes, being a vampire is a fine deal. Until you notice the many caveats. For instance, their strength is weakened with every generation. With each new passing of the supernatural disease that is vampirism, the power within the blood of each new child lessens. Additionally, the vampire's unique magics are like any other mundane skill. Some come intuitively, others start at different levels of expertise, but all must have time and effort put into them. It could be that Piotr has simply not mastered the vampiric art of potence, or has only honed it to a slight edge.
It'd account for his performance back in the tunnels, I suppose. He seemed like he'd be tougher than he was.
His kind are sometimes brawlers, but Piotr himself, he seems like an opportunist to the core.
We saw
State
that
of
in
fight seems
full.
out of his element. The real danger comes from which of his other skills he's applied himself to.
So, invisibility or animal control?
Him being able to disappear even after tells me his specialty might actually be invisibility.
Yeah,
Not
we saw
everyone is
that.
capable of that little hat trick. Or ugly.
Yeah, he's really honed that into an art.
I've seen ugly.
Fair enough.
Hafisborough.
Shit.
When are they going to knock that place off the map? Now then! This has been a delightful conversation about essentially everything in the world. I must now go pour terrible slime down Kevin's gaping maw. But before that, be very cautious during tonight's interrogation.
Oh.
I'm sure everything will go well. Just remember, even a feeble opportunist like Piotr can be the death of you.
Duly noted. Underestimating any supernatural quarry is a very bad idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. My performance in the caves is evidence of that. I am the most experienced and skilled hunter of this family. Yet, when I let my guard down, an inferior foe holds me at knife point.
Yeah.
This is something you must truly understand.
Hunting isn't as simple as a video game or an action movie, huh?
I am not a video gamer, so this absurd language doesn't touch me. Commando, however, is an excellent piece of cinema.
Oh god, yeah, I love Commando. Arnold Schwarzenegger's some of his best work, honestly.
Anyway.
I will tell you when you're older, by a few days at least. Because I'm tired of these questions.
Aw. But I guess I should probably get a move on myself. Breakfast cancelled. I've got to buy a new blender, it seems.
It does indeed seem.
You might want to buy
like
two,
you
just to be certain.
Want me to drive you?
I'm fine. I'll take the runabout. Less gas spent, you know?
Ah, yes, money and all that. Well, good fortune on the road, and fare thee well.
Fare well I shall.
And son, know that I am very proud of you. And your blender.
Thank you.
Ta-ta!
Adios!
We are in Mexico today!
Huh.
Bloody bones. Chemical monsters.
Well, that was very interesting.
You have listened to an audio drama by Ogre Popinang, with voice work by Thunder Psyker as Kitten and Speaker D as Big D. Artwork by Ironirokol. Soundtrack by Macker. Sound composition by Alpha Busa. Mixing by Stringstorm. Animation by Alpha Busa, with lead writers Speaker D and Alpha Busa, and script editing by Erndil and Oculus Imperia. Special thanks to Blessed for shitting. Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of Paradox Interactive AB.
Just gonna let this
and are
go
used
because,
with
you know.
permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit worldofdarkness.com. Visit patreon.com/alphabuza for updates every other week. Thank you for listening, and good evening.
Nice. Anything else? Are we good? The fuck? No, I'm not gonna question it. Not gonna question it. Well, this was certainly fun. I think I might start doing this. Yes, for some of the longer ones or even some of the shorter ones. I'm glad I watched this. And it looks like I got one more big one after this before I get into episode 3. So, yeah. This was epic. I'm glad you all stuck around to watch. I don't like to do somebody. I don't like to react to someone else's reaction. That's just kind of, weird and a little awkward. So let's not do. I'm not gonna react to other people's reactions. That's their turf. I leave it on their turf. That's their reactions. I do my own. But yeah, well, this might be doing it like this, doing some reactions like this might be a more interesting format for some other things. So definitely expands my palette a bit more. Well, it says Old Man Reacts. Anyway, I'll have some of my admins look into it or some shit like that. We'll figure it out. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. It was fucking awesome. I can't wait to do it again. And as always, you know who I am. I know who you are. I will see you all in the next video. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta take him somewhere. Bye.